Namaste children, welcome to today's maths class. In the last class we discussed about the theory of probability. What is probability? How do we find probability? What values will the probability of an event will take, and different terminology related to probability, and an example also we have discussed. Now we will continue our class with some more examples. So an example. A die is thrown 1000 times with the frequencies. Here frequencies are nothing but the number of times that event happened. For the outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 as given in the following table. So a die is thrown 1000 times. So generally when we throw a die, what are the outcomes we get? 6 outcomes are there, as the die contains 6 faces. On each face we have one number from 1 to 6. So the outcomes are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And their frequencies are given in the following table. That is, 1 is appeared 179 times, 2 is appeared 150 times, 3 is appeared 157 times, 4 is appeared 149 times, and 5 is appeared 175 times, 6 is appeared 190 times out of 1000 times. Find the probability of getting each outcome. That is, find the probability of getting 1, find the probability of getting 2, find the probability of getting 3, find the probability of getting 4, find the probability of getting 5 and 6. This for the 6 outcomes we have to find the probabilities. Yes, what is the formula to find probability of an event? That is, P of E is equals to N of E divided by N of S. What is P of E? E stands for an event. Here event is what? Getting 1, getting 2, getting 3, getting 4, getting 5 and getting 6. So P of E, probability of an event, E is equals to N of E divided by N of S, where N of E stands for number of favorable outcomes of an event. N of S stands for sample space, that is all possible outcomes of that experiment. Will give you N of S. Here, here 6 outcomes are there. Let the outcomes are E1, E2, E3, E4, E5 and E6 for our convenience. E1 stands for getting 1, E2 stands for getting 2, E3 stands for getting 3 and so on. So the first one, P of E1. E1 means an event getting 1 as outcome. So how many favorable outcomes are there? That is frequency 179. 179 divided by total number of possible outcomes. It is how much? 1000. So right, 1000. So what we get when we divide with 1000? Yes, the decimal point will come after 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. Here we get the decimal point. That is 0.179. Now P of E2. P of E2. E2 means that is getting number 2. So how many favorable outcomes are there for 2? It is 150. Now it is 150 divided by 1000. So what is its value? It is 0.150. 0.150. Next, E3, that is getting 3. P of E3 is equals to number of outcomes of favorable outcomes of getting number 3 is 157. That is 157 divided by 1000, which is equals to 0.157. Next, P of E4 means getting number 4. So it is how many favorable outcomes are there? 149 divided by all possible outcomes are 1000. That is 0.149. 0.149. Next, P of E5, that is getting number 5. Number 5, how many favorable outcomes are there? 175. That is 175 divided by 1000. We get it as 0.175. 0.175. Next, last probability is P of E6, that is getting number 6. How many favorable outcomes? 190 divided by how many possible outcomes are there? 1000. So what is its value? 0.190. Like this we will find the probabilities of all the outcomes. Now we move to the example 5. The record of a weather station shows that out of the past 250 consecutive days, so a weather station is there and they were maintaining a record of weather report. So in the last 250 consecutive days means successive days, its weather forecasts were correct only 175 times. Means 175 days it was correct. When they said 250 consecutive days, 175 times only their thoughts were correct. They said correct data. That is rain forecast. They said correct. The remaining days, remaining times, what it is? It is incorrect. Incorrect. So out of 250 days, 175 times they said correct. The remaining, yes, how many days are there remaining? Out of 250 days, how many times are remaining? So by subtracting 175 from 250, we get the number of days or number of times it was incorrect. Now what we have to find? What is the probability that on a given day it was correct? It was correct. How many times it was correct? 175 out of 250 days. Yes, fine. Let the given is you take it as P of E. Write first formula. P of E is equals to N of E divided by N of S. Now the first question. You take first P of correct. We are taking correct time. What is the probability that on a given day it was correct? Let me give that name as E1. P of E1 is equals to how many favorable outcomes are there for this event? What is that event? Correct data. It is 175 divided by total possible outcomes are how much? It is 250. So 175 by 250. You simplify this, you will get the result. So 175 by 250. Yes. With 5 table, 5 5s are 25, 5 zeros are 0. Again here, 5 3s are 15, 17 minus 15, 2 and bring 5, 25, 5 5s are 25, 5 7s are 35 and this is 5 10s are 50. Now what is, so it is 7 by 10. 7 by 10 is the probability that it was correct. Next second bit, it is what is the probability that it was not correct on a given day? What is the probability that it was not correct on a given day? How many times it was not correct? How many times it was not correct? That is by subtracting 175 from 250, we will get the number of times it was not correct. How much we get? 250 minus 175 will get 75. How much will get? 75. Therefore, P of E2 stand for, E2 is the number of times it was not correct. How many times it is favorable? It is 75 divided by total number of possible outcomes are 250. Simplify this. Yes, this is rougher. 75 by 250. Yes, 5 ones are 5, 5 5s are 25, 15 5s are 75. Now 5 5s are 25, 5 zeros are 0. 5 ones are 5 zeros are 5 3s are 15. So how much we got? 3 by 10. Yes, 3 by 10. Like this we will find that it was not correct. How many days, how many times it was correct? The probability. Clear children, how to find the probability of given events? Now we will discuss one more example. 50 seats were selected at random from each of 5 bags. How many seats were selected? 50 seeds from each 5 bags. There are 5 bags are there. From that 5 bags, 50 seeds were selected. 5 bags of seeds and were kept under standardized conditions favorable to germination. What are standardized conditions means? That is water level, or what I mean to say, it is sunlight. Those conditions which are helpful for germination of the seeds. At that conditions, the seeds were placed. After 20 days, the number of seeds which had germinated in each collection were counted and recorded as follows. So 20 days they placed those bags at one place, and from that bag 50 seeds were taken for germination, and from that how many seeds were germinated, that data is tabulated in the form of a table. That is bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, bag 5, 5 bags. Bag 1, out of 50 seeds, only 40 seeds were germinated, and after bag 2, out of what it is, second bag, 48 seeds were germinated, and from bag 3, 42 seeds were germinated, and from bag 4, 39 seeds were germinated, and from bag 5, 41 seeds are germinated. Now, what is the probability of germination of? What is the probability of germination of 1? More than 40 seeds in a bag. More than 40 seeds in a bag. Second question, 49 seeds in a bag. And third one, more than 35 seeds in a bag. The first one we will discuss. So, what is the probability of germination of more than 40 seeds in a bag? So, first formula, probability P of E is equals to N of E divided by N of S. That. Now, what is the first question? More than 40 seeds in a bag. How many bags are having more than 40 seeds which are germinated? First bag 40, second bag 48, third 42, and fourth 39, fifth 41. So more than 40 means 1, 2, 3. 3 bags are there. How many bags? 3 bags are there. That is, let you take that as it is related to seeds. You take first one as PS1, or you take some name. You can take PE1. So E1 stands for number of seeds. That is more than 40 seeds which are germinated. So how many favorable outcomes are there for this event? There is 48 is 1, 42 is 1, and 41 is 1. 3 are there. So 3, and total how many favorable outcomes, possible outcomes are there? That is number of bags 5. That is 3 by 5. Then second question. So P of E2. Second question. E2. Yes. 49 seeds in a bag. Do you find any bag is having 49 seeds which are germinated? The highest number is 49, 48. 49 seeds are not present in any bag which are germinated. So how many favorable outcomes are there? Here it is 0. There is no bag which contains 49 seeds are germinated. 0 by possible outcomes are 5. 0 by 5, that is 0. What we call such events? Yes, they are impossible events. What are impossible events? The events which cannot happen, which cannot occur, are known as impossible events. Next, third one. More than 35 seeds in a bag. More than 35. If you see 40, 48, 42, 39, 41, all are more than 35 seeds. Therefore, its probability P of E3. P of E3 is equals to how many seeds are there? How many bags? 5 bags which are favorable to this event. All possible events are 5. 5 by 5 is 1. What we call this event? Yes, it is a sure event or a certain event whose probability is 1. So like this, we will find the probabilities of given events which of an experiment. Now we will discuss exercise 15.1 problems. Now we will discuss exercise number 15.1. First question. In a cricket match, a batsman hits a boundary 6 times out of 30 balls. Out of 30 balls he plays. She plays. So she played 30 balls. In that 30 balls, 6 times means for 6 balls she hit a boundary. A batswoman, she hit a boundary. Boundary means 4 runs. Find the probability that she did not hit a boundary. How many times she hit a boundary? 6 times out of 30 balls. But our question is, find the probability that she did not hit a boundary. She did not hit a boundary. How many times she did not hit a boundary? Only 6 hit a boundary out of 30. How many means what to do? We have to subtract the number of times she hit a boundary, that is subtracted from total number of balls which she played. She played how many balls? 30 balls. Out of 36 only she hit a boundary. The remaining balls she did not hit any boundary. Yes. So here, generally what is the formula to find probability? Yes. P of E is equals to N of E divided by N of S. Probability of an event is equals to number of favorable outcomes of an event E divided by total number of possible outcomes. Here N of S, total number of possible outcomes is 30 balls. N of E, it is number of favorable outcomes of event. What is the event? Not hit a boundary. How many times? Total balls 30. In that 6 balls, 6 times he hit a boundary. Then 30 minus 6, 24. So 24 will represent the number of favorable outcomes of that event. Yes. Let E is the event that she did not hit a boundary. Therefore, P of E is equals to N of E is 24 divided by 30. Now simplify this. Yes. 6 fours are 24. 6 fives are 30. Now it is 4 by 5 is the probability that she did not hit a boundary. First here we have to find how many times she did not hit a boundary. That we will calculate by subtracting the number of times she hit a boundary from the total number of balls which she played. Now, yes. Now here we have one more question. Fourth question. Yes. 3 coins are tossed simultaneously 200 times with the following frequencies of different outcomes. So 3 coins are tossed simultaneously at a time for 200 times, and the following frequencies were recorded for the following outcomes. Here outcomes are 3 heads, 2 heads, 1 head and no head. Frequencies 23, 72, 77 and 28 means 3 heads 23 times they got when the 3 coins were tossed simultaneously 200 times. Similarly 2 heads it is 72 times, and 1 head is appeared only 77 times, and no head is appeared 28 times. No head is appeared. Now yes, here it is. Compute the probability of 2 heads coming up. 2 heads coming up. How many? Yes. Here the event is what? Getting 2 heads. 2 heads coming up is the event. How many favorable outcomes are there for the 2 heads coming up? It is 72 out of 200 times. Out of 200 times. Yes. Here also N of E, number of favorable outcomes of that event. What is the event? Here it is 2 heads coming up. 2 heads it is 72. Total sample space N of S, it is 200 times it is tossed those coins. Now P of E is equals to, that is N of E divided by N of S, that is equals to N of E, it is 72 divided by 200. Now you simplify this. Yes, with the 2 ones are 2, 2 zeros are 0, 2 zeros are 0, 2 threes are 6, 2 6 are 12, 36 by 100, 36 by 100. Now divide with 100. Yes, 2 zeros are there. The decimal point will move 2 places. Therefore, we get 0.36 is the probability of 2 heads coming up when 3 coins are tossed simultaneously 200 times. If they ask you to find, compute the probability of 3 heads coming up means 23 by 200. If they ask you no head means this 28 by 200. Like this we can find the probabilities of a given outcomes. Is it clear, children? Yes. Yes. Now, fifth question we will discuss. An organization selected 2,400 families at random. How many families? 2,400. And surveyed them to determine a relationship between income level and the number of vehicles in a family. So, an organization has selected 2,400 families and surveyed them to determine what the relationship between their income level and how many vehicles are there with the family members. The information gathered, collected is listed in the table below. So in this table the total information is there about 2,400 families. Their monthly incomes are less than 7,000, 7,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 13,000, 13,000 to 16,000 and 16,000 or more. 16,000 or more. Like this their income levels are there. And vehicles for family, zero vehicle means no vehicle. There are some families where no vehicle is found. And families with one vehicle, families with two vehicles and families with more than two vehicles. Now some people who are earning less than 7,000, 10 families are there with no vehicle. They do not have any vehicle, and 160 families are there with one vehicle. 25 families are there with two vehicles. Above two vehicles, there is no family. Next, similarly, from 7,000 to 10,000, zero family. No family is there with zero vehicle. Means every family is having a vehicle. So 305 families are there with one vehicle. 27 families are there with two vehicles and 2 families are there with above 2 vehicles. Now 10,000 to 13,000, only one family is there with no vehicle. With no vehicle, only one family is there. Now 535 families are there with one vehicle and 29 families are there with 2 vehicles. Only one family is there with above 2 vehicles who are earning from 10,000 to 13,000. Now 13,000 to 16,000, 2 families are there with 0 vehicles and 416 families are there with 1 vehicle, 59 families are there with 2 vehicles and 25 families are there with above 2 vehicles. Now 16,000 or more, 16,000 or more. So we have only one family is there with 0 vehicle, 579 families are there with 1 vehicle, 82 families are there with 2 vehicles and 88 families are there with above 2 vehicles. This is the information about their monthly income and the number of vehicles. Now here are some questions. Suppose a family is chosen. Find the probability that the family chosen is. So here one family is chosen. Find the probability that the chosen family, their income like this is there. So probability we have to find. So let's probability P of E is equals to, what is the formula? P of E is equals to N of E divided by N of S. That is number of favorable outcomes of that event divided by total all possible outcomes of that experiment. Now first P of E1, again I am taking E1, E2, E3 and E4. Yes, P of E1, the family chosen is earning 10,000 to 13,000 per month, earning 10,000 to 13,000 per month and owning exactly 2 vehicles. Yes, identify how many favorable outcomes are there to that event. What is that event? The family is earning 13,000, that is 10,000 to 13,000. This is the farm. So a family earning 10,000 to 13,000 and having exactly 2 vehicles. Yes. So there are how many families are Therefore, favorable outcomes are how many? 29 divided by all possible outcomes are how many? It is 2400. 2400 is the total all possible outcomes. Therefore, the probability is 29 by 2400. Next, second question. P of E2. P of E2. Yes. Earning 16,000 rupees or more per month and owning exactly one vehicle. Earning 16,000 or more, having only one vehicle. Exactly one vehicle. Yes. How many families are there with only one vehicle who are earning 16,000 or more? Yes. Exactly it is 579. So that 579 is the number of favorable outcomes of the second event. Therefore, it is 579 divided by 2400. 2400. Now, the third event. So, it is P of E3. Third event, it is P of E3. Earning less than 7,000 rupees per month and does not own any vehicle. They don't have any vehicle and they should earn less than 7,000. Less than 7,000 with no vehicle is 10 families are there. Yes, 10 families. Therefore, their probability is 10 divided by 2400. Yes, 0 and 0 is cancelled. We can simplify and we get 1 divided by 240. Next, the fourth one. P of E4. P of E4 is equals to, yes, earning rupees 13,000 to 16,000 per month and owning more than 2 vehicles. 13,000 to 16,000. This is the scale. Earning 13,000 to 16,000 and having more than 2 vehicles, above 2 vehicles. How many are there? Yes, 25 members, 25 families are there. Therefore, it is 25 divided by 2400. So, how much we get? By simplifying this, 25 by, rough work here I am doing, 25 by 2400. Yes, 5 5s are 25, 5 4s are 20, 5 8s are 40 and 5 zeros are 0. Again 5 1s are 5, 5 9s are 45, 5 6 are 36. So how much we got? 1 by 96. Yes, and this probability is 1 by 96. Like this we will find the probabilities of given outcomes. Is it clear, children? Though it looks a very big problem and it is very easy, you need to identify the favorable outcomes of given event, then we can find easily the probability. Clear? Yes.